Namaste, beautiful souls. Today's class is a class designed to awaken the core. So it's not going to be super high intensity. We're really going to be focusing on our mind-muscle connection with the muscles that make up the core. So when you're ready, I'll meet you on the mat. So we'll begin today in child's pose. Take your knees as wide as the mat. If you'd like, you could of course keep your knees together. Take your toes to touch and walk the hands forward, bringing your forehead onto the mat, or to a block or a cushion, whichever feels the most comfortable for you. As we're here in child's pose, balasana, let's take the time to tune in to the breath in the body. So as you breathe normally and naturally, begin to notice how your body moves as you breathe. So even when you think you're being totally still, notice the natural, automatic movements that the body makes in order to draw in the air, the energy, the light. And now begin to play with lengthening the edges of the breath. So as you inhale, see if you can make that inhalation just a beat longer than it was before. And as you exhale, see if you can't extend the end of that exhalation. Trying to make each cycle of breath just slightly longer than the one before. And as you're breathing here, know that thoughts come in and out, and that's normal and fine. Just acknowledge them and return the attention to the breath and the movements of the body as you breathe. And on your next inhale, begin to walk the hands forward, reaching towards the top of the mat. And inhale, launch the body forward, come up into a tabletop. Spread the fingers super wide, take your wrists directly underneath your shoulders, your knees directly underneath your hips. Press through the tops of the feet, look back and make sure that your feet are in line with your knees. Press into the base of each finger. Lengthen the tailbone towards the back of the room, so you might notice that you already have a little bit of a sway back here. See if you can combat that by imagining that you have a laser pointer on your tailbone, and you don't want the laser pointer to point up towards the ceiling. You want it to point towards the back of the room. And by doing that, you begin to lightly engage the core, whether you know it or not. So from here, lightly engage that core, press to the top of the feet, inhale, begin to paint that laser pointer up toward the sky, allowing the navel to move toward the floor, heart space moves between the biceps, chin comes parallel to the mat, cow pose. And starting with that tailbone, paint the laser toward the space between the knees now, and we're only moving the tailbone at this point, so it's a very slow movement. Press the navel up toward the sky, press the shoulder blades up toward the sky, bring the chin in toward the chest, release the back of the neck. Cat pose. Inhale, rippling across the spine, paint the tailbone up toward the sky, move the heart space forward, chin parallel to the mat, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, round through the tailbone, through the low back, mid back, up, back, release the back of the neck, upper back, I guess. And inhale, drop the belly, heart space moves forward, press through the base of each finger, keep the core lightly engaged. Exhale, round one last time, cat-cow pose. And inhale, come back to center. Kick the right heel out now. So square the hips, pinky toe towards the mat, so flex the foot. You might notice again you have a little bit of a sway back here. Try to combat that. Lengthen the tailbone towards the back of the room. Suck the navel up toward the spine. Gaze on the mat, lengthen the back of the neck. Turn that right hip down a little bit farther than you think you need to. And notice if you're beginning to feel a little bit of heat in the core. Awesome. Release the right leg. Inhale, kick the left heel to the sky. Engage the core. Navel sucks up toward the spine. Flex the left foot. Left hip down a little bit farther than you think you need to. Pinky toe facing the mat. Find length in the back of the neck. A strong back, strong core. And the back is part of the core, if we're being technical. Awesome. Release the leg. Back to the other side, kick the right heel to the sky, flex the right foot, engage the core, this time reach the left arm forward. Thumb to the sky, plug the shoulder into its socket, engage the core, navel sucks up toward the spine. Notice if you're feeling warmth, things are beginning to heat up, and release. Kick the left foot to the sky, right arm reaches forward, thumb to the sky, like you're trying to shake somebody's hand. Flex the left foot, pinky toe towards the mat, gaze on the mat, and release. Tabletop. Kick the right foot behind you, heel to the sky, left arm reaches forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring the knee to the elbow, round through the back. So you're aiming for cat-cow even as you're doing this. So as you inhale, reach forward, arch the back. Exhale, round through the back, chin to chest, knee to elbow. Inhale, kick and reach. Lengthen. Exhale, round and squeeze. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach, last one. Exhale, squeeze. And step it down, over to the other side. Right arm reaches forward, left heel back, lengthen the back of the neck. Inhale, kick a little higher, reach a little higher. Exhale, round through the back. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze, 2. Inhale, cow pose with the arm and leg extended. Exhale, cat. 4. And 5. And step it down, back to tabletop. Flip the toes under and inhale, lift the hips high to the sky. Downward facing dog. You can keep the knees bent. Dip the chin, lengthen the back of the neck. Keep the knees deeply bent. Torso drapes over the thighs. Lift the sits bones high to the sky. So imagine if you have tail lights on your sits bones, they're pointing towards the back top corner of the room. And imagine that your hands are on circular sliders and you're energetically twisting the hands away from each other. They stay solid on the mat, but energetically you're twisting them away from each other. And begin to straighten one leg maybe and then the other. Warming up the back of the hamstrings. Shake the head. Yes and no. Release the back of the neck. And come to stillness. And bring your attention back to the breath. Noticing how your body moves in this pose when you are practicing stillness. The body moves with the breath instinctively, naturally, automatically. It's not something that we have to think about or control. Excellent. Inhale, come onto the toes, bend the knees, look between the hands, and exhale, meander your way to the front of the mat. Inhale, hands glide up the shins, lengthen the back, half lift, and exhale, bend the knees, forward fold. Dip the chin into the chest, maybe cross arms above the head, keep the knees deeply bent. Gentle forward fold, sway side to side, and draw the chin in toward the chest. Inhale, ragdoll roll up to standing, reach the arms down, around and up, coming to prayer above the head. Exhale, draw the prayer to heart center. Tadasana at the front of the mat. Pressing the palms together, noticing the heat and the energy between the hands, eyes closed. Release the hands to the side, palms facing the front of the mat, Tadasana. Glide the shoulder blades down the back, lengthen the tailbone towards the mat, and notice once again that that automatically begins to engage the core. So this class is all about that core engagement, and I'm turning to face you, but we're going to work on some isometric holds, which means we won't be doing any movement. We're just going to be holding the muscle, tensing the muscle. So look down, look at your belly button. Give your belly some love. We love our bellies. They do so much for us and they're so strong. So give your belly some love. Look down at your belly button and release the belly. Okay? Just going to release the belly. Let it be. Notice that when you suck it in, because as women we're always trying to suck it in, Notice that when you suck it in, the belly button just goes straight back. We're just trying to be skinnier, right? Keep the breath out of the body, be skinnier. That's not what we're doing today, so release that, shake it out. Love the belly as it is today. I'm just pulling my pants down so you can see better, okay? So now, what we'll do is as we suck the belly button in toward the spine, we're also going to suck it up by drawing the obliques in toward each other, or in towards the center line rather, in toward the medial line. You might want to go to a mirror and check this out. So you'll do it on an exhale. So inhale deeply. We're just going to practice together. Exhale, and at the end of the exhale, draw the two sides of the belly in, the obliques in toward the midline, and the navel up. I can't talk while I'm doing it because I'm really squeezing everything together. So do it one more time. As you exhale, at the very end of the exhale, draw the obliques toward the midline and the navel up, and that's really going to engage all of the ab muscles. There's multiple layers, the obliques, the transverse abdominis, can't remember what the top layer is called right now. That's a six-pack abs. It's a layer of abs that are superficial, so that's why you can see them. But the transverse abdominis is really the core power muscle. So inhale, exhale, suck the sides together, navel up. And release. And now we'll do this 3 more times. This was the practice round. I'm putting my pants back on. Practice round. We'll do 3 more isometric holds. Inhale. Exhale. And hold for as long as you can. It doesn't matter how long that is. 2 more. Last one. Good job. And if you didn't get it that time, over time, over the practice, if you continue with these kinds of movements, you will begin to cultivate that mind-muscle connection and be able to do it. So don't give up, keep trying, and you will cultivate it. So back to Tadasana at the front of the mat, ground down through the right leg now. Inhale, and draw the left knee up toward the chest. So you can grab onto the knee if you'd like, bring it a little bit higher, but I encourage you not to. I encourage you to keep your hands on your hips in order to engage the abdomen, the lower abs, which in turn lift the knee. Keep a micro bend, keep a nice gentle bounce in the right knee. Bring the left knee a little higher. Engage the core by squeezing the side obliques in toward the midline, and release. Take the weight onto the left foot now. Inhale, draw the right knee up toward the chest. Try to keep the hips square so you're not bouncing that right hip up. Try to keep both hip points in a parallel level. It won't be perfect, but it's okay. It's the effort that counts. Draw the obliques toward each other. Navel sucks up and in. Lift the knee a little bit higher. And release. Good. Shake it out. Inhale, reach the arms above the head. Clasp. Ground down through the left leg. Side bend over to the right. Maybe look under the left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center, release the hands, excellent. Inhale, right knee draws into the chest, engage the core. Exhale all the way and squeeze. Inhale, kick the right foot behind you now, bringing the torso parallel to the mat, warrior three. And if this is too much for you, you can always stay higher. Balancing on the left leg, engage the core, kick the right foot back, okay? Keep the left knee bent. No need to go all the way to parallel. Wherever you're at, you can also grab a chair and use that for balance in front of you. Otherwise, come into parallel to the mat, dip the chin, square the hips, right pinky toe towards the mat. Inhale, come back up, draw the right knee into the chest. Exhale, release and squeeze. Keep the knee up. Inhale, kick the right leg back. Warrior three. A few rounds of breath here. And then on an inhale again. Draw the right knee up into the chest. Exhale, squeeze and hold. Inhale, kick it back, warrior three. And come back up. Whew, shake out the leg. Shake out that left leg. My calf is on fire. I don't know about you. I was not expecting that. I thought it would be a little easier. So, hope you're doing better than me. Awesome. Come back to center, take the weight onto the right leg. Inhale, left knee comes into the chest. Exhale, squeeze and hold. Inhale, kick the left leg back, warrior three. You're level, square the hips, pinky toe toward the mat. Bring the left hip down farther than you think you need to. Engage the core. So rounding a little bit through the back in order to really squeeze the abs. Awesome. Inhale, come back in. Draw the knee up toward the chest. Exhale, squeeze and hold. Inhale, kick it back, warrior three. Fighting the sway back. Inhale, draw the knee into the chest. Exhale, squeeze and hold. Inhale, kick it back, warrior three. Last warrior three. And come on up. Tadasana at the front of the mat, shake it out. That was a little bit easier. Awesome. Inhale, reach. Exhale, flat back, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back to plank or tabletop, whichever one, and bring the belly to the mat. Squeeze the elbows toward one another, press through the tops of the feet. Inhale, cobra. Lengthen the back of the neck. Exhale, release. And now keep on the tops of the feet and bring your forearms to the mat. Elbows directly underneath the shoulders. Now, imagine, this is not the greatest metaphor, but bear with me here. Imagine that you just got punched in the stomach, okay? Just got punched in the stomach. And that's how you're going to round the back a little bit in order to engage the core. So on the exhale, you'll press through the elbows. Imagine that you got punched in the stomach and lift the hips off of the mat. Looking back towards the toes. Okay, we'll do 5 of those. Inhale, lengthen the back of the neck, press through the hips, press through the tops of the feet. Legs are so engaged, the kneecaps lift off of the mat. And as you exhale, imagine that you got punched in the belly and lift the torso, lift the hips, and look towards the feet. Inhale, drop the belly, arch the back, look forward. Exhale, punch to the belly, round. Inhale, Sphinx. Exhale, round. Three, two more. Four. Five. Good job. Take your hands underneath the shoulders now. Press it back to tabletop, followed by downward facing dog. Inhale, right heel kicks to the sky. Exhale, step or walk the foot between the hands. Inhale, reach the right arm to the sky, easy twist. Try not to dump all your weight into the left hand, so maybe lift your torso a little bit here to make sure that you're using your core and not your hands. Press the left foot away from you, squeeze the right knee in toward the midline, shoulder blades squeeze toward one another. And reach up and overhead. Plant the palms, step it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel kicks high to the sky. Exhale, step or walk the foot between the hands. Inhale, left arm reaches to the sky, easy twist. Reach up and over. And plant the palms, step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, kick the right heel up. Exhale, step the foot between the hands. Inhale, right arm reaches to the sky, easy twist once again. Option to stay here or engage the core. Lift the torso, come into a high lunge twist. Reaching the right hand toward the back of the room, left hand toward the front of the room. Press the left heel away from you, square the hips, squeeze. Inhale, find a little bit more length, and exhale. See if you can twist a little bit more from the navel. Awesome. Inhale, looking forward, reach the hands up. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts high to the sky. Exhale, step or carry the foot between the hands. Inhale, left arm up. Option to stay here or engage the core. Use the core to lift the torso. Come into a high lunge twist. Inhale, get a little longer through the spine, and exhale, twist just a little more from the torso, from the navel center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward to plank, bring the knees to the mat, followed by the belly. And draw the elbows toward one another, cobra. Exhale, release. Come back into Sphinx pose. So elbows directly underneath the shoulders, hands in front of you, or you can bring the hands to clasp, which I think is what I'm going to do. Turn the toes under, and you might be imagining where this is going. So either your hands flat on the mat or clasped. Inhale, we'll imagine that we got punched in the belly again, and lift the hips, come into forearm plank. So inhale here, exhale, squeeze and lift, forearm plank. Press the heels away from you, hips in line with the shoulders, gaze on the hands, perhaps, or the space between the hands. Suck the navel up toward the sky for 3, 2, 1. Release the hips back to the mat. Lift the heart space, Sphinx pose. We'll do that a few more times. Come back to the breath. Glide the shoulder blades down the back. Flip the toes under. Inhale here. Exhale, lift the hips. Forearm plank. Press the front body up to meet the back body. Shoulders directly over the elbows. Press the heels away from you. Hip points yearn toward the face for a 3, 2, 1. Release. Sphinx pose. Press through the tops of the feet. Lift the kneecaps off the mat. Gently dip the chin to lengthen the back of the neck. We'll do this one more time. So prepare, either bringing your hands together or you can keep the palms flat on the mat. Flip the toes under. Inhale. And exhale, forearm plank. Last one. You've got this. Front body up to meet the back body. Imagine you have lights on your hip points and they're yearning toward the face. Tailbone lengthens towards the space between the heels for 3, 2, 1, and release. Sphinx. And press it back. Child's pose. Inhale, rock forward to tabletop and come to sit on your bum. You can grab onto the backs of your thighs. Try not to round in the lower back as you lean back. Really ground down through the sits bones. Lift the heart space up toward the sky and lean back with a natural curve in the back. You can keep your feet on the mat, grab onto the backs of the thighs. Shoulder blades glide toward one another. Come onto the toes. The toes are still on the mat. And if you can here, release the legs. Okay, now you should be feeling the core engaging. If you're not, try to open the heart a little bit more, lean back a little bit more, really play with where you are in space to really light up the core. Awesome. So take your fingers behind your ears, right toes stay on the mat, left leg straightens, left knee to right elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 more, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reset. Come onto the sits bones, open the heart, engage the core, left toes on the mat, right leg straight, fingers behind the ears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reset. Lean back. Maybe this time lift the toes off the mat. You can still keep your hands behind your thighs for balance. Engage the core. Yogi's choice. Maybe try to release the hands. See how that feels. And slowly roll down onto the back, keeping the legs in the air. You can keep them bent. Keep the shoulders up. Press the lower back into the mat. Take the right toe to the mat. Left toes to the mat. Woo! Lift your hands up, shoulders up, press the lower back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Draw the knees into the chest. Reset, recoup. Now take your hands underneath your booty, maybe thumbs to touch. Lift the feet above the hips and then so really press that lower back into the mat. Allow the heels to come in the direction of the mat, however far feels good to you, before you begin to lose that engagement, and lift back up to over the hips. 1, 2, really press that lower back into the mat. This is how you engage the core. 3, in these floor ab sequences like this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You can bend the knees, draw the knees in, take a second. Excellent. Inhale, release the hands, press the lower back into the mat. Exhale, draw the shoulders up off the ground, legs bent. Inhale, reach the hands up toward the sky. Straighten the right leg and do leg lifts with the right leg. Keep the left leg bent. 1, 2. You can do this with bent leg 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Woo. Release. Good job. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Squeeze the thighs toward one another. Lengthen the tailbone towards the heels. Inhale, lift the hips. Bridge pose. Press into all 4 corners of the feet. Chest moves toward the chin. You can press your elbows into the mat or clasp the hands underneath the body. And release, roll back down. Cross the right knee on top of the left. Press through the left heel. Lift the hips an inch and move them over to the right. Then drop both knees over to the left. Supine twist. Maybe reach the right arm over to the right or at a diagonal. Maybe bend the arm. In a cactus pose. And notice if your knees are very close to your chest. See if you can lengthen the knees away from your torso. We'll stay here for a few breaths. We've earned this. We've absolutely earned this extended supine twist. So allow gravity to take over the knees and the shoulders. The spine will release as it's ready. Roll back through center. Take the right foot into the mat, left knee on top of right. Lift the hips, move them over to the left a little. And allow both knees to fall to the right. Keep the shoulders on the mat. Gravity will take over and see if you can lengthen the knees away from the torso. Inhale, come back through center, re-center the hips, draw the knees in toward the chest, give yourself a big hug. And glide your hands to the ankles or the inner or outer edges of the feet, flex the feet toward the sky, knees in toward the side ribs, happy baby. Smile here. It's the end of today's practice. Maybe you feel different than you did in the beginning, and maybe not. But to practice and to find time for our mats is always joyous. It always feels good, even when it burns. Bring the soles of the feet together, press the knees apart, and then allow the legs to come to the mat. Keep the soles together if you'd like, or you can release the legs into a traditional Shavasana. Allow the arms to fall to the left and the right. And once again, bring your mind's eye to focus on the breath, the subtle movements of the body as you breathe. Noticing how the belly lifts, the rib cage expands, the collarbones widen as you inhale, and then as the exhale happens, the air moves out of the body, the rib cage moves closer together once again, the belly deflates. Notice all these small, intricate movements that happen naturally, without thought, without control. And now release that breath, release that conscious thought, that focus. And allow the body and the mind to relax here in Shavasana for a few moments. Gently dip the chin and allow the back of the neck to lengthen. Allow the pelvis to be heavy and supported by the mat. And allow the breath to be natural. You'll hear my voice again in a few moments. As you're ready, begin to draw in a deeper breath, moving your thumbs across the pads of each finger, wiggling your toes. Walk your feet in toward the body if they are in traditional Shavasana, or bring the soles of the feet back to the mat if you were in Supta Baddha Konasana. And allow the knees to fall over to the left. Bring your head onto the left forearm. Press the right hand into the mat. Keep the eyes closed. And gently press to the right hand. Eyes remain closed, and come up to a comfortable cross-legged seat. Draw the hands to prayer at heart center and rub the hands together to create some warmth and energy. Inhale, come to stillness. Press the thumbs into the sternum. Lift the heart to meet the hands. Dip the chin. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth, sigh it out. Gently blink the eyes open. Slowly taking in the colors and the light of the space around you. I hope very much that you enjoyed this practice today, and I will see you very soon for our next class together. From my heart to yours, Namaste.